SMS is the highest converting channel that D2C brands have, and it still looks like it did in 2005. Grey text, a random number, an ugly little link that you're not quite sure if you should tap. That's all about to change, and almost nobody is talking about it yet. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what RCS is, why it should convert better than SMS, and what you need to do today to actually get it in place, because there's a 1-month catch that most people are going to walk right into. A quick intro if we've not met already. My name's Jack Shaw, I run Surefire Media. I work with over 75 different D2C brands since 2022, and I've been running the email and SMS channels for those brands. So this is the channel that I live and breathe every single day. Let's get into it. Right, here's the problem. Everyone knows email is powerful. SMS converts even better with open rates that you can barely even dream of on email. The problem is that SMS has been stuck. It looks like the software hasn't been updated for 20 years. The best that you can do is MMS, where you can maybe put a funny meme in there, or you can add a small product image. Otherwise, it's 160 characters of grey text from a number that nobody recognizes, ending in reply stop with some tiny little link that you're not quite sure if you should tap. It's ugly, it doesn't feel good. And the problem here is not actually about the aesthetics and how it looks, but it's about the psychology behind it. Think about your own phone right now. If it's anything like mine, your texts are full of scams. You've got fake delivery notices, or your parcel is on hold, you've got fake bank alerts. So when you get a text from an unknown number and it lands directly in your phone with a link in it, you're going to hesitate. Even if for half a second, is this even real? That half-second doubt is where your clicks and your conversions go to die. Your customers aren't not buying because your offer's bad. They're not clicking on your SMSs because they're not actually sure that it's actually you. And nobody measures that leak. But that's the problem that RCS actually solves. So what is RCS then? Well, RCS stands for Rich Communication Services, and the simplest way to think about it is like an upgrade to your SMS. So it's the same inbox, it's the same thread as your normal text. There's no new app, there's nothing that customers have to download or anything like that. But now the difference is that a message can carry high-res images, swipeable carousels, actual CTAs, and not ugly little short links like shop now, track order, things like that. And the big one, big one, is that it's coming from your verified brand with your logo, with your name, a nice verified tick at the top of it. So it's eliminating that uncertainty that we spoke about, which plain SMS never could. And that verified sender is exactly what kills the hesitation. So a customer sees your name, sees your logo, sees the verified tick, they know it's instantly you, they finally tap, and they finally convert. It's the same offer, but there's less doubt associated with it. So why am I talking about RCS now? Well, RCS has actually been on Android for years, apparently. I don't use Android, so I wouldn't know, but iPhones didn't actually support this, and so no marketer could ever really rely on it because half of your list couldn't actually receive it. So Apple finally added it in iOS 18. Now that's been around for a while, but it now works on basically everybody's phone. And so that's what's flipped RCS from just some kind of like curiosity and good idea into an actual real channel. Now Klaviyo's only switched this on back in February, and so we're still genuinely early here and there's work to be done. Before we go into what RCS is and with a little bit more detail, I'm going to break down the difference between SMS, MMS, and then RCS. All right, so this on the left here is what we've got. This is what an SMS looks like. I'm sure you've seen this before. The only thing this example is missing is an actual ugly link at the end and the reply stop thing or whatever it may be that goes right at the bottom here. So this is typically what it looks like. This example is a bad example because it's adding an actual name and an image here, which most of the time, 99% of the time, it does not look like that. It comes from a random number or a random short number and a no logo or whatever. In fact, if I were to get on my own phone right now, I could probably find an example right on my phone, but I don't want to publicly disclose my own number. But here's an example. Look, I don't know if I can show this. Fuck it, let's do it. So this is an example from a brand called Majori UK, all right? And we're going to cover the number there so you can't actually see it. But this is what it looks like. You get these texts coming through and they look ugly, don't they? And this is just what the whole industry has just been forced to use. It looks terrible. Now, the benefit, the change with MMS is just adding a nice image. So it's something like this. So imagine that text where you get a nice image with it. The caveat to that is that it costs way more. So it costs like 3 times the cost, if not more. Now, RCS is completely different. It's rich, it's branded, it's interactive. You've got the carousels, you've got the buttons, you've got your logo, you've got read receipts, apparently, which is insane. And if someone's phone can't receive it, then it automatically falls back to SMS, so you never lose reach either. So let's show what that actually looks like. Okay, so here's an example from Klaviyo's page on RCS messaging. So this is an example here, and there's another one down here somewhere. Look at this. Look how much better that is. You've got a Palia. Not sure, I'm probably botching that. Apologies. But you've got the actual brand name, you've got their logo, and then you've got this cool looking email-esque interactive type situation going on in your text. Can you imagine how much better that looks versus receiving some ugly text like the one I just shown you? And no shade on that brand, I know we all have to use this, but this looks so much better. First and foremost, I don't think I need to break that down any further. It just looks great. So be instantly recognizable and impossible to ignore. This is my point, that there's no confusion when you receive a text like this using this RCS stuff. There's no way to spoof this, or it's going to be incredibly difficult when I tell you how you actually get this set up. Incredibly difficult to actually spoof this. This versus old SMS, What do you think is going to win? It's clearly going to be this. All right, let's go on to the juicy bit, the part that nobody wants to ask. How much is this thing going to cost? We all know Klaviyo is expensive, and we know this is going to cost an arm and a leg too, right? So let's just rip off the band-aid and find out how much it costs. Now, first of all, some good news. RCS actually isn't a separate plan or a separate bill. Believe it or not, it actually uses the same credit system as your SMS. So this is really good news. But there are two types of RCS messaging, and they're priced very differently. So this is Klaviyo's klaviyo.com/pricing. I recommend going here if you want to get your actual numbers. If we take the cost of SMS here, for example, let's say we do 5,000 credits, we can see the cost for that is $45. The good news about RCS, if I put that down to 0 and just do basic RCS up to 5K as well, it's the same cost. So RCS and SMS cost the exact same thing. Now, there's a difference between basic RCS and single RCS. Basic RCS is text only, so it's the same as standard SMS, and on longer messages it can actually work out cheaper because you don't need the brand prefix and the reply stop at the end of your characters, so you actually get more bang for your buck when using basic RCS versus regular SMS. So there is a slight difference there, but they're priced the same. When it comes to single RCS, that's when you're going to get these very nice rich card things like this one here. So the image, the carousel, the buttons, these messages are 3 credits. Now that is the same as a current MMS. So again, if we go back to the pricing, then you'll see that here it says 3 credits per message, whereas here it's only 1 credit per message. Now this is based on USA pricing. If you're in the UK or if you're in other countries, then the pricing is going to vary. So I recommend checking that out yourself. But the whole point of this is that single RCS, I think, is going to be a game changer, and I think it's going to really convert very, very well. The cost of it is basically the same as MMS. Now, MMS technically tends to, on average, convert better than SMS. It's going to be the same here, I bet, with single versus basic RCS. You just need to be aware that the cost is 3 times. So if I do 5,000 credits on here, as you can see, it's going to be 135. Yeah, so that's 3 times the cost. As you can see, single RCS is 3 times the cost of basic. The way that you think about this is just that single RCS is like MMS and basic RCS is just regular SMS, but a little bit cheaper. So my takeaway for this would be to budget your RCS just like you budget for your MMS because it gets expensive. So use the rich format where the conversion lift actually pays for that 3x send cost. Your launches, your drops, your back in stock alerts, not as your default for every single send message that you send out. And if you're in the UK, remember that we're blessed and that the cost of doing this is always 5 times the cost of the US. So if you're there in the US and you think that RCS or MMS is expensive because it costs you 3 times the credits, it costs us 5 times the credits just to send 1 SMS versus if you're sending it in the USA. So you should be grateful, people in the USA. You're blessed. You've got a very cheap SMS service, whereas in the UK it's absolutely hand over fist as a joke. So yeah, I would use this. I think it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to using it. And yeah, I'll report back when I've got something to share on it. Now, as I said, I don't have my own numbers yet. This is still brand new. We're rolling it out for clients, and I'll report back with that real data when I've actually got it. But the early signals are already there. So Klaviyo has already done this kind of case study here with a company called Popflex. So they're an activewear brand, and they were one of the first to switch this on, become verified, and use interactive text. And they've said that they've seen higher engagement across the board. So I'm not pulling this out my backside. This is actual genuine receipts that I wanted to provide before I start making any promises. So here's the key data. 23% higher in total revenue versus SMS, 136% higher conversion rate versus SMS, and 6 times higher click-through rate versus email. So these numbers are insane. I'm not surprised at all, and I think that this is only going to get better as time goes on. Like I say, SMS has been running the same software for 20 years, whereas email has been updated countless times. So this is long overdue, and it's going to be great for the industry. Now, here's the catch, and this is the most important part of this video, because turning on RCS is not instant. Like I said earlier, it's going to be very difficult for spammers and spoofers to do the same thing with RCS as they have done and are doing with regular SMS by just picking a random number and pretending to be a brand. This thing takes a month to get set up. So you need to do it now, and the earliest that you're going to be able to use it is in 30 days. So you need to do what I'm about to do right now. All right, first of all, you want to go into your Klaviyo account and you want to click settings. When you click settings, then you're going to come up here to text message, and you're going to come to this section here, which is set up RCS. You're going to click this button to get started. Now, what you need for this is all the stuff that you need: your company's business ID, your entity type, your legal address, registration details. You need a screenshot of your SMS or RCS sign-up form. I should also say, if you're not already using SMS, you have to set up SMS first, I believe, before you can actually register for RCS, because it's essentially an upgraded SMS. So register for SMS, then you register for RCS to get the nice fancy branding, the nice customer client company name and company logo associated with your number. Other things that you're also going to need that it doesn't mention here is your privacy policy and your terms of service URL. So if you've not got those, they're not live on your website, make sure you get them, make sure you've got somewhere to link to, because you can send SMS without having those active. Another thing you need is your logo and a banner image apparently as well. So have those ready just so that, you know, when it comes to actually setting up the branding that you're going to be sending with, you know what that looks like and you've got it in place. Like I say, the earliest you're going to be able to use this is in 30 days. So if you want to have this ready for Q4, by the time this video itself goes out, it's going to be pushing a little bit close to the edge. So you want to make sure that you get moving on this really as quickly as you can. And then when Q4 rolls around and Black Friday's here, you're going to stand out versus the people who are like, what's RCS? So you're ahead of the curve. Keep it that way. Now, again, if you're sitting there and you're in your Klaviyo account, you're wondering where is it? Like, I can't see it. The chances are it's because it's not in your country yet. So at the minute, it's available in the UK, the US, Germany, France, Italy, Spain, Poland, Austria, Sweden, Norway, and Denmark. If you don't see the option for this at all, it's probably not live in your country yet, but keep an eye out because it will be rolling out later in the year. One last thing so you don't panic that I've been warned about. Apparently, because your RCS sender is brand new, when it eventually gets sending, your first few messages might land in the unknown senders folder on some iPhones whilst it beds in. Apparently that's normal and it settles. I don't know what it's talking about, but that's just a caveat or like a warning for you just in case. Apparently it's normal. Again, this is brand new, so we got to figure this out as we go along. So that's RCS, the biggest update to SMS in 20 years. I personally feel very good about this, a lot better, because the amount of SMSs that I receive when you got these big beautiful brands, they've spent so much on branding and marketing and then they're let down by the technology that they're forced to use. This is a game changer, so thank you to whoever created this. I'm glad to see it actually rolling out, and if you're a brand, I recommend that you get this in place as soon as you can. Like I say, once we've got some actual data, some numbers, some case studies to actually back it up, I'm going to do more content on this. So if you want to see that, if you want to hear my take on it, how our clients are doing with it, stick around, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.